Hi, classmates. My name is Nikki Patten, and I currently teach in Mesa Public Schools for the Eagle Ridge Enrichment Program, which is a school for homeschool students to come into the public schools and to get enrichment courses like Storybook Studio, where I'm teaching students how to write their own stories. And I teach some acting classes and public speaking classes and PE classes, a whole bunch of fun mixed bag stuff, and it has been a really great place to teach while I've been working on my master's degree. So, to focus on the three prompts that we have for this video, first off, what has impacted my thinking about literacy during this program? And I have to say that the two main things that I feel like I'm taking away from this program and going, wow, it was all worth it, all that work. The first thing is learning from the first course I took was the class about educational theory, and I did a project on the research of Dr. Karen Woolwin, who focuses on learning about young children and their connection with play and literacy. And she does some other things too with older kids, sometimes with like technology and literacy. And everything about her research has really spoken to me. And it makes me feel like a sense of validation when I think, oh, maybe my expectations for students are too low. Like I want them to play in order to learn how to read. And maybe that's not the right way to go about it. And then when I saw that a lot of her research was based on that and was validating this incredible stuff that kids are able to do through like engaging with technology in the same way that they engage with books, and how that's like a precursor for reading. It just was like awesome to see someone whose philosophy aligns so much with what I've been doing in the classroom for all of these years. The second thing that I've got from this program that I told my husband, like, if I don't finish, if I don't learn anything else in this program, this textbook is the thing that I'm happy that I've been in this program for. So initially, when I came to ASU to do this master's program, I thought like, I really want to do it just because I want to have more resources and more tricks in my teaching bag, you know? Um, and then I felt like I was doing a lot of learning and a lot of projects and a lot of research, and it wasn't necessarily giving me exactly what I wanted to go back into the classroom with. But in RDG 540, last semester, we read the reading strategies, like a textbook that had like 200 or more strategies in it that I could use with my student, like right then when we were tutoring. And it like was a game changer because you know, when you're not in school, I feel like you either have professional development, or you have to do a lot of extra work to like find what are the new things to do with students that keep like learning exciting and new and fresh. And then this book wasn't like super current or anything, but it had a lot of strategies that I'd never used before, and it really made a huge difference with my tutoring student, and I loved it. So that was like the fantastic thing for me. Why does this stick with me? Why does it? What stays with me? Why do I keep thinking about keeping reading like fun and engaging? Because, well, two things. First off, I have a nephew, Parker, who just started kindergarten this year, and my previous teaching background was in like the year 2000. I started teaching or I started as a kindergarten assistant at the Bethany Learning Center in Tempe, Arizona. And I was just so impressed with how kids just started like picking up reading. And it wasn't like we weren't just doing drills or like a lot of explicit like science of reading phonics type like, drills. uh, we were letting kids had playtime in those kindergarten classes. They had blocks out and they were playing with Legos, and there were chunks of the day where they were devoted to just playing and socializing. And then I've since been collecting these because I love the program so much, and it's like gone. But Letter Books by Macmillan McGraw Hill was just like the most balanced reading curriculum where students were practicing writing. They were listening to like poems and rhymes, and they were like getting just like literacy in so many forms. And so I just always remember like we didn't sacrifice fun, socialization, and playtime. And all of the kindergartners, I mean, I worked there for ages, like 12 years, and I never saw kids that just didn't know how to read by the end of kindergarten. So, like, it, I watched Abby's video a few minutes ago, and she was talking about how we just need to bring back that joy and fun. And we understand the purpose for the rigor, but making reading like enjoyable for kids, I think that's like the first step, really. Okay, and then finally, well, one last thing I wanted to say was as after I had worked as a kindergarten aide and I went back to school and got my teaching degree, I taught for 10 years and like in my own like a regular class, not like a special enrichment class. But anyway, I was departmentalized though, so I taught third, then fifth and sixth grade reading and social studies. And the way that we were able to incorporate those two things made like reading come to life. We read so many books where the characters started to become kind of like just other classmates. And the concerns that were happening in the stories, my students started to internalize and like bring to life. We read Gordon Corman and like made his stories be like, well, let's experience this ourselves. We read, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, and then we had a literacy celebration afterwards. Just like bringing books, bringing the characters, pulling them out, and saying, "Be a part of our world. Teach us about your book." Okay, so all of that to say was like the best outcomes I ever saw was when kids just cared about the content. They just cared. And then finally, what I was going to say was my question about what lingering questions do I still have about literacy education? They're actually more about my own personal buy-in to literacy education, which is to say, what am I going to do next with this degree once I have it? Honestly, I only ever wanted to learn more about how to be an exceptional reading teacher and then bring it back into my general education class and keep teaching reading, but do it with more oomph. But who knows? Maybe, I don't know, curriculum, leadership, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry I rambled for so long. I look forward to reading all of your guys' work this semester and learning from you guys, and have a great week.